The dog that uncovered a buried secret. What they found changed everything. The family thought it was just another normal day until their dog started digging frantically behind the house. What lay beneath the dirt would shake their world forever. When instinct knows better. It started on a quiet Tuesday morning in a small suburban neighborhood. The Johnson family was enjoying their breakfast when Max, their 3-year-old German Shepherd, began acting strangely. He wasn't eating his food. He wasn't playing with his favorite toy. Instead, he stood at the back door, whining and scratching at it with an urgency they'd never seen before. Sarah Johnson, the family's mother, opened the door expecting Max to run off for his usual morning routine. But what happened next was completely unexpected. Max bolted straight to a specific spot in the backyard about 20 feet behind the house, near an old oak tree. And then he started digging. Not the playful, casual digging dogs sometimes do when they're bored. This was different. This was desperate. His paws moved with lightning speed, dirt flying in all directions. His focus was absolute, as if he was on a mission that couldn't wait another second. "Max, stop that!" Sarah called out, walking toward him, but the dog didn't even look up. He just kept digging, deeper and deeper, his breathing heavy and determined. Something wasn't right. Sarah's husband David came outside to see what the commotion was about. By this time, Max had already created a hole nearly 2 feet deep. The couple tried to pull him away, but the dog resisted with a strength they hadn't experienced before. It was as if Max knew something they didn't, something important. "This isn't like him," David said, his voice tinged with concern. "He's never acted this way before." Their 2 children, Emma and Jake, joined them in the backyard, equally puzzled by their pet's behavior. Max was typically a calm, obedient dog. This frantic digging was completely out of character. If you have a pet at home, you know that feeling when they try to tell you something. Their behavior changes. Their eyes plead with you to understand. Have you ever wondered what secrets they might sense that we completely miss? After several minutes of watching Max dig with unwavering determination, David made a decision. "Let's see what he's after," he said, grabbing a shovel from the garage. "There must be something down there." Working alongside Max, David began to dig more carefully, removing larger amounts of dirt while the dog continued pawing at the edges of the growing hole. The family gathered round, watching with a mixture of curiosity and growing anxiety. About 3 feet down, David's shovel hit something solid. The metallic clang echoed through the quiet morning air. Everyone froze. "Well, what was that?" Emma asked, her voice barely above a whisper. David carefully brushed away in more dirt, revealing the corner of what appeared to be a large metal box. It was old, rusted around the edges, and had clearly been buried for a long time. Max stopped digging and sat back, panting heavily but watching intently, as if his job was done, and now it was up to the humans. With trembling hands, David cleared more soil around the box. It was roughly the size of a small suitcase, with a simple latch that had corroded over the years. The family looked at each other, unsure of what to do next. "Should we open it?" Sarah asked, her voice uncertain. "We have to," David replied. "We've come this far." What lay inside? Using a screwdriver, David worked on the rusted latch until it finally gave way with a loud crack. He slowly lifted the lid, and the entire family leaned in to see what Max had been so desperate to uncover. Inside the box were bundles of old letters tied together with faded ribbons. Beneath them were several black and white photographs, their edges yellowed with age. There were also old newspaper clippings, jewelry pieces, and at the bottom a leather-bound journal with a name embossed on the cover, Elizabeth Morrison, 1952. Sarah gasped. "That Morrison was my grandmother's maiden name," she said quietly, "but I never knew anyone named Elizabeth." The family carefully removed the items from the box and brought them inside. They spent the rest of the day piecing together the story that had been buried in their backyard for decades. A story revealed. The journal belonged to Elizabeth Morrison, Sarah's great-aunt, who had disappeared mysteriously in 1955. Family legend said that she had run away to start a new life, but nobody had ever heard from her again. The letters and photographs told a different story, one of a young woman who had been deeply in love, but whose relationship had been forbidden by her family. This is where the story takes an even more unexpected turn. Are you ready for what came next? Through the journal entries, the Johnsons learned that Elizabeth had planned to leave town with her forbidden love, but before she could, she had buried this box as a time capsule of sorts, a record of her true feelings and her real story, hoping that someday someone would find it and understand what really happened to her. The newspaper clippings revealed that Elizabeth had actually married her love and moved to a different state, changing her name to avoid her family's disapproval. She'd lived a long, happy life but had passed away 10 years earlier. The box had remained buried, waiting for someone to discover the truth.
But the most shocking discovery was yet to come. Among the photographs was one that made Sarah's heart stop. It showed Elizabeth standing with a young man, and in the background, clear as day, was the same oak tree that now stood in the Johnsons' backyard, only much younger. This wasn't just any property. This had been Elizabeth's family home, the house where she had grown up. The Johnsons had unknowingly purchased and been living in the home of Sarah's own ancestors. Even more incredible was the realization of how Max had known to dig in that exact spot. Dogs have extraordinary senses, far beyond human capability. Experts later suggested that Max might have detected a subtle difference in the ground's composition, or perhaps even a scent from the old metal box that had permeated through the soil over decades. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything suddenly made sense, where the universe seemed to align in an inexplicable way? That's exactly what the Johnson family felt in that moment. The ripple effect. The discovery of Elizabeth's time capsule had effects far beyond just the Johnson family. Sarah reached out to other relatives, sharing the letters and journal entries. Many family mysteries were solved. Misunderstandings that had lasted generations were finally explained. They learned that Elizabeth had actually tried to reconcile with her family years later, but by then, too much time had passed, and too many people had moved away. The pain of the original separation had created wounds that never fully healed. But now, through Max's determined digging, Elizabeth's true story could finally be told and understood. The family also discovered that Elizabeth had other descendants living in nearby states. The journal and letters served as a bridge connecting branches of the family tree that hadn't known about each other's existence. Max's reward. Max became a local hero in the neighborhood. The story of how he uncovered a 70-year-old family secret spread throughout the community. He received treats and pets from everyone who heard the tale. But more importantly, the Johnson family gained a deeper appreciation for their faithful companion. They realized that Max had given them something infinitely precious, a connection to their past and a story that would be passed down through generations. "He's not just a pet," young Jake said one evening, hugging Max tightly. "He's part of our family history now." The lesson learned. The Johnson family's experience reminds us of several profound truths. First, that the past is never as far away as we think. History lives beneath our feet, in our homes, in the stories waiting to be discovered. Second, that animals possess an intelligence and sensitivity that we often underestimate. Max didn't dig randomly that day. Something compelled him to that specific spot, and his persistence gave a family back a piece of themselves they didn't even know was missing. What secrets might be hiding in your own backyard? What stories are waiting to be uncovered? Sometimes the most extraordinary discoveries come from paying attention to the seemingly ordinary moments around us. Conclusion. The metal box that Max uncovered that Tuesday morning was more than just a collection of old letters and photographs. It was a bridge between past and present, a testament to love that transcends time, and a reminder that sometimes our four-legged friends know more than we give them credit for. The Johnsons still live in that house, and the oak tree in their backyard has taken on new meaning. They've placed a small memorial plaque near its base, honoring Elizabeth Morrison and the life she lived. And Max? He still goes out to that spot sometimes, but now he just sits there peacefully, as if his work is done. This story shows us that home is more than just a building. It's layers of history, love, loss, and rediscovery. And sometimes it takes a dog's desperate digging to remind us of that truth. If this story moved you, take a moment today to appreciate the animals in your life. They may not speak our language, but they have their own ways